Hi, welcome to the Sales Strategies for Christian Coaches podcast. I'm Justin Janowski, your host, and I'm the founder of Faith to Influence. I started my Christian coaching business in December of 2018, and I remember being nervous, wondering if I was good enough, wondering whether or not I could do this, feeling some fear financially about whether or not it was going to work, and knowing that I needed to make it work for my family. God had really big plans, though, and I collected over $250,000 in revenue my first year in business. And now I help other Christian coaches optimize their business models, pricing, and sales strategies so they can scale their income and their impact. Ultimately, that's what this podcast is all about. Today, I want to talk to you about deep, meaningful relationships, specifically with other people in the marketplace. One of the superpowers or magnifiers for my business and my success has been meaningful relationships with the right people who are also in the coaching and entrepreneurial space, specifically with Christian leaders. I have a handful of people who have absolutely had my back and had great relationships with, and they've given and given and given to me. They've given referrals, they've promoted me, they've shared about me with their friends, they've created hundreds of thousands of dollars in business for me. When I think about some of these friends, Aaron Havivian comes to mind, Teresa McCloy comes to mind, Tommy Breedlove, Chris Tuff. There have been a handful of people who have just championed me and my business. And honestly, I could go on and on. There are probably 15, 20 people who would fit this category. And those 15 or 20 ideal clients, close friends, partners in the marketplace that have referred me and championed me have been worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe approaching $1 million in sales over the years in my business. And the reason why we've been able to have a relationship where they've contributed so meaningfully to me, I hope, is because we've had a relationship where I've contributed so meaningfully to them. A concept I got from Chris Tuff and Tommy Breedlove, two of these individuals, was to be a net giver in your relationships. Aim to give more than you receive. The interesting part of this, of course, is if both sides of the relationship are aiming to be net givers, giving more than they receive, everyone's receiving a lot. Now, I believe in win-win or no-deal relationships in business and in life in most cases. I don't want you to just give, and never receive. A lot of Christian entrepreneurs do that. They're giving away everything for free, they're helping everyone else, and they're not holding a boundary for themselves and making sure that their cup's being filled. So I don't want to get confusing here or have you go too far to the other side on this. I want you to give generously, and I also want you to receive. I think it's important for all of us to be able to give and receive in a healthy, balanced way. But with key relationships in the marketplace, if you can identify the right people who you want to have a meaningful relationship with, and then absolutely show up for them, whether that's by praying for them, by being there as a friend, having meaningful conversations, giving them a gift, referring business to them, introducing them to people, promoting them, supporting them. These things go so far and mean so much. You know, Dan Miller, one of my mentors and friends who passed away in the last year, he used to call these people 3 a.m. people. He would say, who are your 3 a.m. people? If everything's going wrong, it's 3 a.m. in the morning and you're in trouble, you need money, you need support, like if it was like just a disaster kind of situation, who are the people you could call who would have your back no matter what it was, who would fly to you in a heartbeat if you were needed, who would give you a $10,000 loan if it was needed? I'm not expecting you to call people and ask for $10,000 or ask them to fly in the middle of the night, but who are the people that you could call if you were in that kind of situation who would be there for you? It's another interesting way to think about it. Dan said that he thought you should have one 3 a.m. person for every year of life you've had. So if I'm 37 years old, I should have 37 3 a.m. relationships. Wow. I don't know if all of us have the capacity for that. Some of you do. Some of you have the capacity for more. For others of you, it might be 3 people or 5 people or 1 person. But can we find those relationships? Can we actively and intentionally cultivate those relationships in business, in the marketplace? If we do, you're going to experience more fun, more success. And if you're championing each other and referring to each other and connecting each other with more of the right relationships, there's a magnifying effect of that. And so what can you do if you're saying to yourself, yeah, I want this. I want some of those 3 a.m. relationships. I want some of those people who are going to champion my business and support me and refer big opportunities and ideal clients to me. The most important thing you can do is show up that way for others. You can be the 3 a.m. person for someone else. You can be the net giver for someone else. You can show up generously in the marketplace in the way that you operate with your clients, in the way that you operate with your partners. When you meet people, when you're networking, you can aim to serve and give first, and especially show up all in for the right people and the right relationships. And when you do that, if they really are the right person, you're going to find that they show up for you that way too. And those core relationships can make all the difference over the years. Let's do this together. If you want to be one of my 3 a.m. people, or you'd like me to be one of your 3 a.m. people, let's get to know each other more. Let's do that. Or join our Christian Coaches Academy, where we've got over 100 amazing Christian coaches who are becoming those kinds of people for each other. I specifically value people who share my Christian faith and values and also are on the similar track to me in business. That combination makes things a lot easier. I used to have relationships with people who were in my church family and understood my values and my faith, but didn't understand what was going on in my business. And they couldn't speak to that. They couldn't be that person for me in that avenue. And on the flip side, I had plenty of relationships in business with people who didn't share my faith and values, even though they could understand what I was going through as an entrepreneur. And finding both is the key. So you need to find those people for you. I, kind of in jest said, well, maybe that's me. Like maybe we could be that person for each other. I can't be that person for everybody, but you're going to find your people. Maybe they are in our Christian Coaches Academy membership. Maybe they're somewhere else. Maybe they're in your network, your community. Maybe they're already there. You just need to show up more powerfully for them to take the relationship to the next level. Or maybe they're people that you need to go out and meet. And you might start asking yourself the question, where are the people I want to hang out with hanging out? And how can I get involved in those groups or go to those events or connect in that way? Start with small and grow from there. You can do this. By the way, if you want to check out our membership and see if the Christian Coaches Academy is a place for you to find your 3 a.m. people, for you to find and develop deep, meaningful relationships, go to www.f2itribe.com/CCA. We would love to connect with you there. God bless you all. I'll see you next week.